Yeah, good afternoon, students. Welcome back to our class. That is nothing but managerial economics and financial accounting, MIFA. And today we are going to start with our new topic, that is demand, and it comes under the second unit. Hope you people have understand the first unit with a good explanation. Coming for our second unit with a new topic by the name demand. So here today we are going to learn about what's the meaning of demand and the concepts of demand with analysis. Now, meaning of demand. What does it mean? See here on the screen. Supply refers to the amount of goods that are available. Demand refers to how many people want those goods. When supply of a product goes up, the price of a product goes down and demand for the product can rise because it costs loss. As a result, prices will rise. So what we are talking about here, when the product goes up, when the demand goes up, the prices produced comes down, and what will happen? The product can raise because it losses, and when the price is less, the products will go up. When the prices goes up, the price will comes down. This is a major concern about this. Coming to our next thing, the knowledge of demand for a commodity is very essential for successful running of any commercial enterprises. Decisions regarding the quantity of production, sales, inventories, etc. depend on a reasonable estimate of the demand for the product. In the absence of the demand, production becomes unwarranted. On the other hand, if the demand is very high, the firm may have to work hard to produce the required quantity of output. How this can be possible? I will show you the picture. First, law of demand. What here in the first picture written that when the prices of any product increases, then the demand will fall down. When the prices decreases, then the demand will increase in the market. So it depends on the time how it be. Say for example, a vegetable market is there, the prices will be high, or some raw materials or the suppliers are there, they are having the same quality of goods, but one supplier is increase the volume or the prices of the commodities, and another supplier has not neither increase nor decrease, and third supplier he just decrease a little bit few less amount or the price of the commodity, the same quality, same product at same station, I mean same time, during the same time, then the people will prefer to whom? They prefer automatically to the C supplier C. Why? Because he has decreased some cost. When the prices are decreases, then the demand will be increased because the people will in demand. That's the reason they will ask. Nowadays many people's companies or firms, they are giving the discounts to the customers for attracting them or to create the demand in the market. Now, whereas when the prices of any product increases, if they are increasing the prices, what will happen? The demand will fall. As you are seeing that from during this lockdown, the prices of the vegetables or the FMCG goods has been increased. So what's happening when the people used to take 200 rupees and to the market yard for purchasing the vegetables, they what we can say, they are getting the basket full of vegetables, but now it is not, just they are getting half or 1 by 4th. So what's happening when the prices are increased? Then the people will purchase essential goods, not each and everything. They will now focus on the price because they have to save the money. So the prices of the, when we are increasing the prices, the demand will fall down automatically. Now we go to the another picture where we are able to understand how the demand curve will work. See here, we are having x-axis with the quantity 0 and quantity 1, whereas y-axis we are having price P1 and P2. Now, when the price is P1, our the quantity will increase up to Q1. When we have increased our price for P2, the quantity has decreased from Q1 to Q0. So this is that means the quantity is less. Whereas this, if you draw a curve, the demand is lying over here. If it is little bit increased, then little bit quantity may decrease, but we are getting more profit. So here the demand. That's the reason we are saying when we increase the price, the quantity will decrease. When we decrease the price, the quantity will increase. I hope students you have understand the concept. Now we will go for the definition of the demand. What do you mean by demand? According to Bober, an economist, what he says, by demand we mean the various quantities of a given commodity or service which consumers would buy in one market in a given period of time at various prices or at various incomes or at various prices of related goods. Here it has been mentioned clearly that the various quantities of a given commodity or service which consumers would buy in one market in a given period of time, at a given time of period, they are purchasing the goods from one market at market price and various incomes or to various price of related goods, whatever it may be. So all these things will be taken place properly. Now we will go for it. Therefore, the demand for a good is made up of the following three things. What is that? The desire to acquire it, the willingness to pay for it, and the ability to pay it. In other words, demand is nothing but desire to acquire. That means they are going to purchase it. Desire should be there, and willingness should be there. Next, ability should be there. Here, if I take an example here, a teacher is there, or a lecturer is there. If he, as you know, that many people like alcohol or liquor to drink, but whereas coming to the professional of teacher, they don't like because they are able, they are willing to pay and ability to pay. They are having the ability to pay, but they doesn't desire to acquire that. So demand won't work over here. One more example, a TV person. A person is there who is a merchant, who is a businessman. He is having a desire to take the TV and willing to pay, but he doesn't. He is having ability to pay and he is having desire to take, but willingness is not to pay. He doesn't want to pay because he don't want to go as he is a miser maybe. So the demand will not be taken place. Another example, if I take, there is a very big person. As he is having a son and he is interested in IPL matches watching. So he is able to take, that means the son desire is to take the TV and he is willing to pay, but his father is not giving him because he is not able to pay and he is dependent on his father as he is a student. He is a student of 10th standard and is unable to pay because he is not earning. So the demand will not create over here. So all these three things should be there. In absence of any of these three characteristics, there is no demand. Okay. Now types of demand. We are having three types of demand. One is the individual demand and the market demand. What do you mean by individual demand? It influenced by an individual's age, sex, income, habits, expectation, and the price of competing goods in the marketplace. What is market demand? It influenced by same factors but on a broader scale. The taste, habits, preference of the expectations of the community. That means on the consumers or the customers and so on. So individual demand. What does it mean? Demand by one buyer for a commodity is called an individual demand. Demand for a commodity by an individual is the quantity of that commodity that the individual is willing to buy at a price over some period of time. Now, thus the definition of this demand includes the quantity of a commodity that a buyer is willing to buy, the price of the commodity at which he is willing to buy that quantity, and the time period during he is willing to buy that quantity at the given price. The time period will be a day, a week, a month, year, or any other period. So all these three things should be there. The quantity of the product should be there, commodity, the price, and the time period. Then this is nothing but the individual demand takes place. If I take an example of, as an example, I want to explain you. The demand for mangoes by a consumer is 5 kg per day. This is first statement. Coming to the second statement, the demand for mangoes by a consumer is 5 kg when the price of mango is rupees 10 per kg. Now the third statement, the demand for mangoes by consumer is 5 kg per day when the price of mangoes is 10 per kg. So which one is correct? Here per day, that means per day, all this in the statement 3 is validatory. Why? Because in the third statement, in the first statement, this they had mentioned the price and day, but not kgs, quantity. Coming to the second statement, they had mentioned the price. They had mentioned the price and they had mentioned the quantity, but they had not mentioned the time period. Whereas in the third statement, they had mentioned time period, quantity, and price. So the third statement will work, and it is nothing but the individual demand. Now, I will give you one example here. The individual demand curve represents the quantity of a good that a consumer will buy at a given price, holding all else constant. When charted on a grid with price on the vertical axis and quantity purchased on the horizontal axis, these points from the individual demand curves for consumer A and B. See here, the quantity is here and the y-axis is here. So the point A, B, C, D, E, F, G, these are the points where we are having the price. When the price is 50 paisa, 1 rupee, 1.5 paisa, 2 rupees, 2.5 paisa, 3 rupees, the quantity of the demand, how? 0.7. When it is 1, that means 50 paisa, it has been gone for the 7, quantity will be in 7. When it is going for 1 rupee, it has been gone up to the 5. When it has been gone for 1.5 paisa, it has gone for 3.5. That means when we are increasing the price, the quantity is decreasing. When the price is 50 paisa, this is an, if you see the curve here, then the individual, it is nothing but the, this curve talks about the demand schedule or the individual demand curve. Once again I repeat, when the prices increase, quantity will decrease, the demand will decrease. And this is nothing but the individual, we are talking about an individual person. So that's the reason the prices of, if we are decreasing the prices of the product or commodity, damn sure the quantity of the product will increase. And if you see in another picture, these are the individual demand curve. See, these are the quantity 2, 4, 6, 10, 16. Whereas we are having the price 10 rupees, 15, 20, 25, 30. When it is 10 rupees, number of purchase, the quantity will be 16. When it is, when we increase 5 rupees more, 15 rupees is nothing but it is, the quantity will be 10. When it is going for 20 rupees, the quantity will be 6. When it is 25 rupees, the quantity will be 4. When it is 30 rupees, the number of quantity, the purchasers are 2. When it will be 35, it will be 0. No one is going to purchase because the price is very high in the market. So by seeing this, we can understand. Now, what is the formula of individual demand? Individual demand is nothing but price of the commodity plus quantity of the commodity plus time period of the commodity. I hope you students understand. Now we'll go for the next term, that is market demand. What do you mean by market demand? So there are many buyers of a commodity. If we add the quantity of the commodity that each of its buyer is willing to buy at a price over a time period, we will get the market demand of the commodity. See, as you know, everyone are willing to purchase the goods. When individual consumers or customers are buying it and the quantity is in high demand over a period of time, then that is nothing but a market demand. Thus market demand means the total quantity of a commodity that all its buyers are willing to buy at a given price over a period of time or over a time period. That's the market demand at a time period, at a particular time period with a particular price, with a particular quantity of buyers will be there, then it is known as market demand. I will show you here one more. In case of market demand 2, any statement about the market which does not state the price or the time period will not be a, and that means it is willing to be an incorrect statement. Now how? See here, this is Jones demand, this is Edwards demand. So what's the Jones demand? If he is going with the 20 rupees, the price of the book, and how many books he is going to purchase? 3 books. Whereas if I keep the price 20 rupees, Edwards is purchasing 1 book. So what will the market demand? The market, when I am keeping 20 rupees, the quantity will be 4. Adding these two consumers, the consumers number of customers will become the demand, create the demand in the market, and this is nothing but the market demand. Whereas x-axis go for the quantity of books, whereas the y-axis go for the prices of the books. Clearly it has been mentioned clearly with this diagram. I hope you understand. Now I will go with another diagram for your explanation. See, the horizontal addition of individual demand curves to get market demand. See, this is the quantity A, quantity B, and quantity C. 0 to X, 0 to Y. That means this is quantity and this is the price. When I am having price 1 P1, P2, the quantity, see the quantity here and quantity here in this picture. So the demand of A here, this is the A of demand. How it is going? Slightly it's coming down. Why? Because when the price I have decreased, the quantity has increased. When I increase the price, the quantity has decreased. Coming to the second picture, when I am having the price 1 P1, the quantity has decreased up to 3. When I am going for the price 2, the quantity has gone up to the 6. The same picture, the demand, quantity of the demand, when the prices was P1, when P2 it is Q2, when it was P1 it was P1. See the quantity, when I am increasing it, if it is P1, the quantity was 5. When I have decreased the price, the P2 has gone with the Q2, that is nothing but the 10. So all these things shows the credit. When we are decreasing the price, the quantity is increasing, and it is nothing but the demand of the goods or commodities are there in the market, which shows the market demand. With one more analysis, you people will able to understand. Let's have a look. This is a quantity demand per month. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This is the quantity 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Whereas these are the prices in dollars. $3, $6, $9, $12, $15. This is the price. Now what is the demand per month? New quantity demand. See, first we will go with the quantity demand, then we will go for the new demand. When the $3 is there, it is taking 7. When it is 6, it is going to be 5. When it is $9, the quantity will be 3. When the $12, the quantity will be 2. When the $15, now it is, this is the current ratio, it's demand. If I increase, if I increase the price, that means if I keep direct $15, so how many people are purchasing? No one. If I decrease a little bit price, one customer is there, quantity of 1 will be there. If I decrease little more of $9, the quantity will be 2. If I decrease for 6, the quantity will be 4. When I decrease for the 3, the quantity will be 6. So what do you understand by this? If you increase the price, demand will be decreased. If you decrease the price, demand will be increase. Hope students, this is the picture. One more, you can take out the printout and you can go for it. For your explanation, I have collected the data from on the internet. Now we will go for another thing, demand functions. What are the functions of demand? Let's have a look. Demand function is a mathematical expression of relationship between the quantity demanded of a commodity and its determinants. When this relationship relates to the demand by an individual consumer, it is known as an individual demand function. While if it relates to the market, it is called the market demand function. In the clear concept, it has been mentioned. Demand function is a mathematical expression. It is going to be calculate the relationship between the quantity demanded of a commodity and its determinants. What are the determinants? I will show you in the picture. When this relationship relates to the demand by an individual consumer, it is known as the individual demand function. While it relates to the market, it is called as market demand function. Let's see. See, these are the determinants, 5 determinants of the demand with examples and formula. Prices of goods and services. What is the price? What is the income of the buyers? What is the prices related to goods? What is the price exactly that? taste of the consumer or the preferences and expectations from the customers. These are the 5 determinants of demand, are the examples of individual. Now we'll go one by one. Here, individual demand function, where qx1 the quantity of purchase of goods x in period. Everything has been mentioned clearly. Now one more, I'll give the example, simple one. Q dx is equal to f of px y p1 to pn1 t a ey epu, where q dx is equal to demand for the product x, px is nothing but price of the product, y is nothing but the consumer income, p1 to p into the n minus 1 denotes prices of all other related products, t denotes consumer's taste and preference, a denotes advertisement, ey denotes consumer's expected future income, ep denotes consumer's expectation about future price, u denotes other determinants of demand of product x. So what does it mean? Now coming to the market demand functions. Market demand functions will be calculated in the same formula, where all these things will be same, but p is equal to population, d is equal to distribution of consumer in various categories depending on the demographic factors. I hope students, you people have understand this topic about the today's concept, what is demand analysis and concept of demand. So please mention your roll number in the comment box, and whatever the things you are unable to understand, please inform to your HOD so that I will get the information, I can get back to you, or else you can report the same in the comment box so that I can get back to you individually. Another one more important thing, in this chapter you are going to get one long answer and 2 short answers. You have to be very careful with this thing. So I repeat once again, what is my demand? Demand is nothing but creating the awareness. It can be 3 things should be there: the price should be there, the time period should be there, and the quantity. That means price, quantity, time, all this should be there. So we are going to create that uh, demand. And for demand, what are the things are essential? The 3 things are: 1, willing to pay, ability to pay, and his desire should be the first desire of purchasing, and he should have to will to pay and his will to pay it. Then only the demand will create in the market. So I hope students you have understand the topic and concern. Please mention your roll numbers in the comment box. Thank you. Have a nice day.